guys, I Sanjay Chatterjee once again has come before you, but the time is a little bit different now because we know that whole world is now fighting with coronavirus and we are also no exception. And being a young children, I'm sure that you are feeling suffocated because you have to stay at home, you cannot go out to play outside. But what can we do? It's a way of life right now. And study cannot wait, we have to study also. So right now we have to study through digital way, through YouTube or the WhatsApp groups. As a teacher I have to do that thing, but before starting that thing I'll have to show one thing. This is the piece of page that you can see here. This is a certificate from CBSE. You know that some days ago in the month of March, from 6th March to 17th March, I stayed at Bhagalpur being the examiner of CBSE copies, English copies, and there I checked so many copies. And the head examiner was impressed by my copy checking, and in this page she has given me a certificate that worked excellently. She has written work excellent, and this I have preserved because this is my first time experience to be an examiner of CBSE copies, and I have got this certificate. You will get this picture of this, you will get the picture of this page at the end of my video. So without wasting any time, I want to start today's teaching, and this teaching will be on tense and voice. And one thing I have to tell you before starting this class, that if you like this video, please give a like, share and subscribe my channel. My channel's name is Sanjay's Coach English Classes. I'm requesting you to like this channel, to share, subscribe, and also to press the bell button so that you can get the notification of my future classes in time, and you will be updated in course of time whenever I make any new videos on educational purpose, on educational matter. So let's come to the main point. Today's class is on tense and voice. Tense and voice, these are two very important things of English for learning English. And today I will teach you at the same time tense and voice. We know that there are 12 tenses, that is main three tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. And then all these three tenses have four subdivisions like present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense, in this way. Now we have to remember one important thing, that out of 12 tenses we can change the voice of only 8 tenses. We cannot do any voice change of present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future continuous tense and future perfect continuous tense. These 4 tenses are not used. These 4 tenses are not used for voice change. And what is voice change? Voice change means changing the subject and object. Actually, voice, it has the 3 parts: active voice, passive voice and quasi-passive voice. Active voice means when subject does the work, like Ram eats rice. Ram eats rice, here subject is Ram, work is eats, and Ram does the work. Ram does the work. So Ram is the subject, doer of the action, also it is an active voice. If we say it in another way, that Ram eats rice, rice is eaten by Ram, rice is eaten by Ram, here subject is rice and verb is eating, but rice does not eat anything. Rice does not eat anything, it is eaten. It is eaten. मतलब सब्जेक्ट जब काम करेगा तो उसको हम लोग कहेंगे एक्टिव वॉइस, और काम जब सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर आ जाता है तो उसको हम लोग कहेंगे पैसिव वॉइस. अक्सर ये कहा जाता है कि सब्जेक्ट काम करता है तो एक्टिव वॉइस, सब्जेक्ट काम नहीं करता है तो पैसिव वॉइस. ये गलत बात है. सब्जेक्ट काम जब करता है वो एक्टिव वॉइस, और काम जब सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर आ जाता है तो वो होता है पैसिव वॉइस. So now let's start that thing, and here you have to know the change of pronouns also. For example, I will change into me, we changes into us, he changes into him, she changes into her, they changes into them, and it changes into it. There is no change. And object, yes, object is very important thing, because there are many sentences where we cannot find any object. Like the baby is sleeping on the bed. The baby is sleeping on the bed. Here is no object. But you cannot change the voice of this sentence. For changing the voice of a sentence, object is necessary. Object is mandatory. Without object, voice change is not possible. So I have told you the main things of voice change. Now let's come here. And after watching my video, if you have any queries, any question, you should ask me on YouTube channel, or if I put this video in WhatsApp group, there you also can ask me any question. I will clarify all your doubts. Look at the first thing here, the simple present tense. What is simple present tense? When the work which happen almost every day, regularly, and sometimes also general. This is the general definition of simple present tense कि जो काम रेगुलर बेसिस पर होता है, ऑलमोस्ट एवरीडे होता है. ठीक है, अब इसको देखिए. सी राइट्स लेटर. सी राइट्स लेटर, दिस इज सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस. सी इज द सब्जेक्ट, राइट्स इज द वर्ब. is because C is the third person singular number. C writes letter. Subject, verb, object. This is active voice because C is the subject and C does the work. C does the work. कौन लिखती है? वो खुद लिखती है. उसको हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? Letters are written by her. Letters are because this is plural. अगर वहां पर subject singular हो तो is होता, अगर I होता तो am होगा, लेकिन यहाँ letters plural में है तो are हुआ. Letters, she writes letters. Letters are written by her. Not यहाँ पर एक्स्ट्रा आ गया है. Letters are written by her. हाँ, this is passive voice. Letters are written by her. पत्र लिखी जाती है उसके द्वारा. तो C changes into her. This is passive voice क्योंकि letter जिसको नहीं लिखता उसको लिखा जाता है. Present tense, she writes letters. Letters are written by her. Now come to this another one. Present continuous tense. She is writing letters. She is writing letters. Present continuous tense. वो पत्र लिख रही है. उसको हो जाएगा letters are being written by her. Continuous tense में तो being लाना पड़ेगा. Letters are being written by her. पत्र लिखी जा रही है उसके द्वारा. Letters are being written by her. This is present continuous tense. मतलब इसका यूज कब होता है? जो काम अभी हो रहा है, कंटिन्यू हो रहा है, या थोड़ी देर बाद में होगा. तो जनरली लेकिन जो अभी the work which is going on right now. The work which is going on right now, this we use present continuous tense here. Now let's go third one, present perfect tense. What is the use of present perfect tense? Present perfect tense is used for a work which has been completed recently, sometime only some times ago, and often its result remains. There we use present perfect tense. Look at this line. She has written letters. Has is used because there is C, and the passive voice, letters have been written by her. You have to bring been here. Subject has V3, object. Here object letters was at the end of the sentence. Letters has come at the beginning of the sentence. Letters, this is plural, so have been third written by her. One thing you will find here, that's a very interesting thing. In active voice and passive voice, in both cases, verb 3 is used. In active voice and passive voice, verb 3 is used. She has written letters. Letters have been written by her. Now, I'm coming to number 4, simple past tense. Simple past tense means for a work which is completed. For a work which is completed in the past with no result remaining in present. With no result remaining in the present, there we use simple past tense. She wrote letters. This is complete past tense. वो पत्र लिखी थी. She wrote letters, active voice. And in passive voice, it will be letters were written by her. Letters were written by her. In passive voice, the structure is subject was were V3 by object. Subject was oblique were verb 3 by object and then other words. So letters were written by her. पत्र लिखी गई थी उसके द्वारा. Coming to the past continuous tense. What is past continuous tense? For a work which was going on in the past. For a work which was continuing in the past. For that work we use past continuous tense. कोई काम हो रही थी. Like she was writing letters. वो पत्र लिख रही थी. She was writing letters. In passive voice it will be letters were being written by her. Letters were being written by her. Now you compare this number 5 with number 2. Almost all same. Only the difference is there it was were and here were. Because that was the present continuous tense, so we have used were, are, and that is in past continuous tense we have used were. The rest is same. Coming to past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. In which situation we use past perfect tense? When there is a comparison between two past works. This is a very important thing. You must listen to it very carefully. Suppose there are two past works that had happened in the past. The first work, between two past works, the first work is expressed in past perfect tense. The work which was completed first, we use past perfect tense, and the work which was completed later, we use simple past tense. This is past perfect tense. She had written letters. she had written letters. In passive voice, letters had been written by her. Letters had been written by her. Here also you will find that in active voice, verb third, that means past participle form of the verb, and in passive voice again, verb third, past participle form of the verb. So here I have described 6 tenses and their passive form.